Hey guys, Chris, the tiny house guy, and I have a weekend update for you. Skipped last weekend because I didn't have a whole lot to show you. I did mostly wiring last weekend, and it was really super cold. It was like, I don't know, -10 until 10 o'clock in the morning almost. So yeah, it was pretty darn cold. Today I got some things to show you, and I think one of the things about these videos is to teach people how to build these campers and show you the mistakes and the things that aren't mistakes. And so first thing I want to show you is a mistake. I think I have completely screwed up on the finish of this thing. And so if you look around here, like right there, let me see if I zoom in a bit. You see that? That is the plywood separating. And so the urethane truck bed liner that I used is cracking, and there's a whole bunch of them all over the thing. So I believe that I used the wrong product. It's not flexible enough for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to a product called liquid rubber. A lot of RV people use them for their roofs, and some foamy teardrop camper guys are using it for walls. So I'm going to try it. Supposedly it's really flexible. I got to see, because it's urethane on here, I got to make sure it's going to adhere well. So I might have to sand it. So I actually did a little, I got a gallon on order. So I might actually have to sand. This is sort of sanded with some, I don't know, maybe 100 and something grit sandpaper. I might go with 60 grit and just rough it up. I'll do an adhesion test. I'll sort of put it on here, put it on there, and see how it peels off, if it does or not. And I also think that the black look, well, I like the black look. I believe that I'm going to switch to white, because I think white, many people are saying that the white's going to probably make a pretty big impact as far as just the sun, doing damage to the glue joints and all that kind of stuff. Having a little bit of just solar reflectance is gonna help out a lot. Probably keep the inside a bit cooler too. So the stuff I got on order, I have 1 gallon, and it's gonna be white. So that's that. Let's go on inside, and you'll notice first thing, we have lights because we hooked up the electrical system. So you can see I've got a DC power jack which powers it, and I've also got an AC plug going over to that box here in the corner, which let's see, we can take a look at it. It's still a little messy, but it is functional. So this switch right here, when I switch here, you can see that there's you can see the 2 lights come on, and when I switch over to the power station, you'll notice only 1 light comes on, because that other light is a ground light, and of course it's not grounded, so because it's a power station, it doesn't ground it. But anyway, so that's all wired in. Looks pretty good. I've installed some switches up here. These switches are going to do various things. One of them is going to be an outside solar panel disconnect. One of them is going to be a fan that I haven't installed yet, and this is going to be for the fan for the composting toilet, which is right here. I don't know if I showed you this or not, but composting toilet, bucket toilet. Anyway, that's that. Next, the wood stove. The wood stove is in. And so this is the trick fabrication. So let's sort of take a look at it. It's pretty warm right now because I just burned it to see how hot things are going to get. This gets a little bit warm, not terrible. This nut back here doesn't get warm at all. And so what I've done is, first of all, I have the shield that you buy from Cubic Mini. I've actually installed, you can kind of see in there, you see that white material, that's ceramic, high temperature ceramic insulation, which I've also stuffed. You can see some right there. So the heat shield has actually been stuffed with the ceramic insulation to give a little extra protection. It's not going to give much, because this was, it's sort of a natural convection cooling. This heat hits this plate and then naturally convects, and you get airflow. But the insulation does give you a tiny bit more performance than you'd get with convection, so that's why I did it. This pipe right here, this is a 3-inch double wall wood stove pipe that you can buy from Cubic Mini people. This pipe, this is you ever seen those big diesel guys who roll coal all over the place? This is a 4-inch exhaust pipe. And so what I've done is I got a fitting that I had to, it's actually an end cap that fits into what is a 3-inch end cap, 4-inch end cap, something, I don't know. I had to cut that out so that the 3-inch pipe would go through it. And then I sort of cut this up, and this has been stuffed with that same ceramic insulation that is back there. And it's kind of like Class A chimney pipes. That's how they build them. They actually take 2, a pipe and then a pipe, and they stuff ceramic insulation in between them. This gets, I would say right now I can hold my hand on. This was burning really good earlier. I would say when it was at peak, I had it wide open, I could probably not, I could touch this, but I couldn't hold my hand on it, so it was a little hot. So it's probably good. That's probably what it should be. And this didn't get hot at all. This is a NEMA 4 electrical box. These holes I just sort of put plugs in so you don't look quite as ugly. Don't look too closely. My cut is okay, but it's not beautiful. So anyway, so this is just basically I cut through the roof and shoved the box through. So let's go on the outside. I'll show you what that looks like. Let's go back here. God, when all the snow melts, you see how much crap I have from that ice storm. It's all over the place. So here we go. We have, this is just installed, I don't know, maybe an hour or so ago. So this is the door, and there's actually I have a key. I don't know, yes I do. So there's a key. This key sort of goes in here, and is the, you can see as I turn the key, this is what will latch the cover here. This pipe, I don't want to pull it out yet because it's still cooling down, but this pipe basically will pull out, and then you'll be able to close the door, seal it up, and it'll be waterproof. So that's the idea. And then this pipe will store somewhere, probably down, down in the truck somewhere, who knows where. But that's how it's going to work. And so what I've done in here, so this is the remainder of that. Actually, you can kind of poke it so you can see in there. Let me actually, I wonder if I can zoom in and show you that. Is that cool? Look at that. So you can see where I have you can see the ceramic fiberglass jammed in between the 3-inch pipe and the 4-inch pipe. And then let's go back here. And then you can see I've got this is extra ceramic that I had kicking around. I have made it so that these pins actually can come out. So if I want to take the door completely off, I can remove that door, take it out. I got to get some kind of a drip shield so in case it's raining out or something, but I'll work on that. I don't have a cap. I'll probably have to do some kind of cap. I don't know what I'll do. I'll figure something out, some chicken wire or something. I don't know. At any rate, that is how you do the wood stove. Just shove a pipe in there and go. So anyway, there we go. Let's see what else. Actually, I don't think I have much else to show you. So I got the wood stove. We did the electrical. Yeah, I think that's about it. So that's 7-minute video. It's a little long, but I guess I had a lot to show you. So, hey, thanks for watching, guys, and we will see you next time with some more updates. Thanks.